And there I have it, the career saver hack. And this will potentially save your career. Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. I can promise you, one day in your career, sooner or later, you will send an email that you will regret having sent afterwards. In this video, you will get 4 guiding principles and one very handy trick that you should consider if you don't want your email to land you in jail or lose your job. So without further ado, let's get into this. You probably have seen headlines like this. An email is leaked and is making the sender look really bad or really guilty. In fact, there is an endless number of cases where someone fought hard to keep everyone from reading what they have written. If that hasn't happened to you, congrats, but I can promise you sooner or later, even though the results might not be as devastating as in our examples, you will regret having sent a specific email. So today we take a look at 4 guiding principles and one very handy trick to make sure that you can avoid having an email land you in jail or lose your job. To be honest, these cases won't happen every day in your company. But in our 5 years at a top management consulting company and working for one of the biggest companies of the world, we have experienced at least a handful of time where a certain email came to light that made the sender look really bad, and the entire company, almost the entire company, was talking about it. To make sure that you never land in this horrible position where you need to defend yourself and fear for your job, let's take a look at our guiding principles. Guiding principle number 1. Never put your rage to the page. I remember a project where a senior manager from the client side was outraged and sent within his anger an email to another very senior manager. And not only did he use language that he afterwards regretted, he also put other managers in CC. So quickly the email spread, and after a day or at latest after 2 days, everyone on the project and the majority of the people in the company had read this email and were very irritated about the language that he used and how he could lose his temper so easily. And he was even embarrassed because the other senior manager replied with a single line saying, "Dear," I'm not going to say his name, "Dear, I think we should have a talk. I'll give you a call." So if you never want this to happen to you, consider this guiding principle number 1, never put your rage to the page. That means that you should never write an email in the heat of the moment when you are outraged. In these situations, your rational brain has been taken over by your ancient fight or flight system that mainly works on the basis of instincts. So it might instinctively feel right to fire up an email and get your anger out, but it is just not the smart, rational thing to do. What is a smart move instead is take a deep breath or take a walk. A walk works wonder in helping you cooling off. Then call a friend or someone you trust, let off some steam, and plan your reaction or what you need to do from there. Guiding principle number 2. Never send anything that you wouldn't be comfortable seeing on the front page of the New York Times with your name and your face next to it. What that means is that you should never send a joke or comment that could easily be marked as grossly politically incorrect. Especially not when you're sending your email to multiple recipients. Because, number 1, for multiple recipients, you're quickly losing control over who has gotten your email, who has read it, and who has maybe even intentionally misunderstood you. And second, a single recipient might just outright ignore your inappropriate text. But if you're sending it to multiple recipients, your email is more or less public, and someone might feel peer pressured to take action against you. I'm not a huge fan of political correctness, and I'm not saying that from now on you should weigh every single word with a gold scale in order not to offend anyone. I just advise you to be careful what you write, especially when it can be taken out of context and misunderstood easily. Guiding principle number 3. Never send rumors or sensitive insights. That means that you should never hit send when the reason for your email was the need to vent an insight or rumor that would make someone else, your company or your client look really bad. In general, you should not engage in rumor, and we will make a separate video about why. For now, just remember this. If you have the need to vent an insight about another person or about a practice of your company or your client, and you want to get another person's opinion on that, just do it over a coffee. Don't create a document with your name under it. The same applies when someone else sends you a rumor or a sensitive insight. After receiving it, you might feel safe now sharing an insight with this person as well, or you might even feel obliged to share something only you know. But don't make this rookie mistake, it makes you look very unprofessional. And the same applies to messages in WhatsApp groups. What you are sharing as a rumor or potentially inaccurate insight quickly gets out of control, and very soon you are the one who needs to defend himself because he is bad-mouthing others or sharing fake news. Guiding principle number 4. Never ever send instructions to delete emails, especially not emails that are concerning an investigation or an impending investigation. The legal term for this is spoliation of evidence, and it is a felony. Ordering people to delete possibly incriminating emails is against the law. The moment you instruct someone to delete your communication, you start looking very, very guilty. No matter how powerful your emails were in the first place to prove your guilt. Now, as promised, let's move over to the career saver hack that I found very, very handy. Did you ever send an email and almost immediately afterwards felt, well, that might have been very wrong, I wish I could undo it? Good news, you actually can, and I will show you how it works. I will show you first how it works and then how you can implement it on your machine. So let's assume you had a big fight with your boss and now you're going to send him a mean email. So I've prepared such an email here. Let's spice it up a bit. You are awful. Of course in all caps because you're outraged, right? And then you hit send. But a minute later you think, oh, wait a second, that doesn't feel so right anymore. I wish I could get it back. So you can get it back because it is still in your outbox. In your outbox box, here's your mail and it sits here waiting for you to either change it or to, in this case, what is even better, just delete it. And it has never been sent. So how can you implement this on your machine? It's easy. You click on rules, you open the drop-down menu, and you select Manage Rules and Alerts. Here you want to set up a new rule. In this rule you select Apply Rule on Messages I Sent, the option at the bottom. Click Next. It asks for conditions, so you don't want to have any conditions fulfilled. It should apply to every email. So you don't select one, you just click Next. It warns you, this rule will be applied to every message you send. Is this correct? Yes, it is. What do you want to do with the message? Defer delivery by a number of minutes, and you can specify the number of minutes. I suggest you choose between 1 and 3 minutes. 1 minute, 2 minutes should work fine. Okay. Next. Select exceptions. No exceptions for this. Next. Specify a name for this. The name is clear. It's our career saver rule. And then we select finish and apply. And there it is, ready to catch emails that you don't want to send anymore. So there you have it, 4 guiding principles that help you avoiding that your emails get you in trouble. Did an email actually got you in trouble in the past? Was it maybe a mild mistake, like an embarrassing typo, or was it really one of those it almost cost me my job kind of trouble? Please let us know in the comments. We are curious to hear your stories. In the meantime, stay tuned for upcoming videos. We have more tips for your writing. We will continue this series with advice on how to convey bad news via email and how to build and sustain your network via email. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss a new and helpful video. We really appreciate it. So long, thanks for watching, take care and see you next time.